Hey guys, I wanted to put a video out tonight quickly about a few things that have been on my mind as far as success and financial freedom. I know there's a lot of people out there who want to get out of the rat race, and I'm here to tell you that you can 100% do it. If you put your mind to it with the certain systems in place, and there are systems that you can put into place to achieve the financial freedom that you want, you can 100% get out of the rat race. um, I'd say one of the first things that you should probably start trying to do is set aside money in a different account so you never even see that money hit your account. So if you have a direct deposit set up, automate it somehow to where when that money hits, let's say checking, for example, $50 or $100 or $150 comes directly out of that account and goes straight into savings immediately. You never even know that it happens. That's the very first thing. We can do some quick math real quick. Let's say $150. Let's say $150 is probably a lot for a lot of people. Say something more manageable like $100. We're going to take $100 out of every check. I don't even need the calculator for this. $100 out of every check times two. If you're getting paid bi-weekly, I'm talking 200 a month. If you're getting paid weekly, let's say 50 a check. So 200 a month, 12 months, that's $2,400. $2,400 that you can stack up in 1 year. Now, that does not sound like a lot, but like I said before in some of my past videos, it is a progressive, consistent, slow grind. This thing doesn't happen overnight. There are things that you can do to generate wealth fairly quickly if you do your due diligence and you watch the market and you make the right moves. But you need to look at this thing like a long-term situation, long-term goal. And it's very achievable if you are talking 10 years. Let's say 10 years. You have $2,400 times 10 years. That's $24,000. Okay. So now you have $24,000 in 10 years. Now that's assuming you just put it in the bank. Now this is where a lot of people make the mistake. They put it in the bank and they never do anything with it. That's not a part of the plan. You want to take this money and put it in an account to where it is giving you a percentage of money each month. If you put it in a regular savings account, you're not going to be getting anything. You can leverage money market accounts. I had my money in a money market account a few years ago. I want to say it was a little over 50. It might have been 55, 56,000. I can't remember exactly. And there were tiers. So I think it started out at 20. I want to say it was 20. It might have been 25,000. Started out the lowest tier. It went from like 25 to 50. It gave you, let's say, 3.5% each month dividend return. Then it went from like 50 to 250,000. That's the mid tier. And I want to say that was like maybe 4.5, 5% each month. And then anything over 250,000 above and beyond was like, I don't know, because the interest rates were a lot higher. It was like, I want to say 5.5%, 6%. No, I think some of that stuff's come down. Don't quote me on all those numbers. It's been a few years, but if my memory serves me, that's how it was when I was in it. And I think for 50 couple, let's say 55,000, I was getting, I want to say it was like a few $100s a month. Let's say $300 a month. These numbers could be slightly off. 50 couple thousand, 300 a month. Now that does not sound like a lot. If we're talking 24 grand That's 100 a month. I'm sorry, that's 200 a month times 12 months is $2,400 times 10 years is $24,000. That's half of the 50K that I had in there. Um, so let's say I'm getting 300 for the 50K, 55K. Let's say 50K because numbers work better. 300 for 50K, then you're getting 150 for 24K because it's almost half. So, but it's $150 that's every month now stacking up on top of that 200 that you're already putting in there. So you're already putting 200 in there. Now it's starting to earn you 150 each month. So now you are generating 350 a month. So if we go 350 a month times 12 months, that's $4,200 a month. So that right there, I'm sorry, $4,200 a year. So that right there already bumps you up double almost. I mean, now you were at 2,400, now you're at 4,200. Um, that's how quickly these little things change. And you don't have to just be involved in a money market account. You could be involved in a CD, a certificate of deposit. You could be in treasury bonds. You could be in, you know, gold and silver, precious metals. You could be in the S&P 500. You could be in any major tech stock, Nvidia, or any of those tech stocks, up and coming tech stock. It doesn't matter where you're at, where you fall. I mean, of course, you want to make as much money as possible, but like I said, it's all risk versus reward. So typically in finance, the more you risk, the better the reward. And it's all has to do with how good is the market. Are you coming to a market crash? You may be in a situation where you don't want to risk. And that's where it pays to do your due diligence and to watch, world news and anything financial that you can read articles, subscribe to email lists that you get, top important news before, a lot of the public sees it. YouTube is a perfect place for it. That's what I did personally. Just watched a ton of YouTube, read a lot of articles, did a lot of searches online, and there is some luck involved in it, but a lot of it is just strategy. It all starts with, you know, even if you have a very small income, we talked about before I was working at the prison making $30,000 a year. That's nothing. I mean, that with a family of six, I'm the only one working. 30K a year, that is absolutely nothing. But I was able to stack some money up. If you can just stack a little bit of money up while you're working, doing, investing in yourself, taking, online courses, filling out for jobs on different Indeed and, USA Jobs for me is where I found my next position. I went from 30,000 a year at the prison to 42,000 as a GS technician, GS7, pretty low on the totem pole, and then went from a GS7 right into a GS11. And as my income went up, my savings was able to go up. The whole time I'm planning this, I'm strategizing this, and it all comes down to a science. So, I mean, when you're not making very much money at first, yeah, you're probably going to have to cut some expenses. Maybe you can't go to the barber, once a week, or, maybe you can't get a new pair of shoes every 3 months. You know, you just have to bite the bullet and just be unhappy, if that's what you want to call it, for an extended period of time while you stack that money. And do your research, get online, see what is best to invest in, during that phase, that cycle of the market. It is a science. It's not an exact science, but it's pretty close. If you if you strategize, you write down on a piece of paper, what is the money coming in? How much do I got coming in? And how much do I got going out? What's the bills? What's the rent or the mortgage? What's the water? What's the electric? What's the car insurance? Don't forget things. How much does it cost to fill up the vehicle? Food, groceries are a huge expense for us. Because like I said, there's six of us. That's a huge expense. But you just calculate all that stuff, go through your bank statements. I mean, it may take you a little bit at first. There's a little bit of there is an initial phase where you have to put in that work. But if you put in that work and you comb through your bank statements and you figure out, all right, here's all of our stuff going out, and you get the total number of what's going out, and then you get an exact number of what's coming in, you can say, all right, right here's where we can save money. Let's set this money aside. And then you can project that out the following year. If I put this much aside each month and I never see it hit the account, it just goes right into this other account. Once you get to a certain dollar amount, let's say 5,000, 10,000. I don't know how much it costs to start up a money CD. I think you could, I don't know, I have to look into it, but a few $1,000s, nothing huge. Put in a money CD. There's rules to money CDs. They're locked for a certain period of time. If you take it out or withdraw it early, there's penalties. But if you're not planning on spending that money anyways, who cares? And it's kind of like a fixed rate. So if you lock it in at 4.5% today and you can't touch it for, let's say, 12 months or 18 months, it's going to stay locked in at 4% that entire time, even if the market crashes. It's not liquid, so you can't grab it and spend it, because if you do, you're going to get penalized and it's going to cut into your interest, which is the money you earned on it. But it is a form of compounding your money and not touching it. But it all starts with what's coming in and what's going out. And whatever's coming in, you can try to, in the future, make that go up as you get a raise, as you get a better job, whatever it is. You have a payment on your money going out list. Oh, hey, we paid the car off. Boom, I can check that off. Now there's an extra $400 a month that goes in the pocket. Well, if we were getting by with $400 before, spending it for the car payment, and we don't need it, well, let's keep trying to get by. Let's take that and put that in. And every time you do something like that, it's going to build. It's going to build. It's going to be what they call in the financial world the snowball effect. You start out with a little snowball, you roll it down the hill, and as it gains momentum, it picks up more snow and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And eventually, that's what you want to do with your money that you're investing. Start out with something small, manageable, but you have to understand the fundamentals. Number one, what is the money coming in each month and what is the money going out each month? And they need to be accurate numbers. Not, I think it's $2,500 a month going out each month. I'm not sure. No, you need to know for sure. Do your homework, write it down, be methodical, comb through the bank statements, the last 90 days. Oh, yep, this is a reoccurring. I forgot. We pay for Hulu. Got to put that on there. Oh, Netflix, that's got to go on there. Oh, yeah, the dog's medicine every 3 months. Well, that's not every month, but if you want to be accurate, take that, because we pay for dog medication. It's expensive. Divide it by 3 and add it to each month's money going out. Then you're going to be really, really accurate. You may not be 100%. There may be a few things here and there that you miss, but you will be very, very close. And once you get close on how much money's going out, you take a look at how much money's coming in. You do the math. You say, yep, we can afford to stack away an extra $200 a month or $300 a month or $50 a month at first or $100 a month. And the beauty of building wealth is once you start doing it, it's kind of addictive. So once you start seeing that snowball effect, you see that money getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and you're like, man, because that's the thing with money. The more money you have, the more money you can make. I mean, if you get a 10% return on $1 million, you see people, football players, baseball players, basketball players, really, really famous people who get extremely rich, and they blow all their money in a matter of a few years with a couple bad investment deals. Maybe family took advantage, whatever happened, and they don't have anything. They're dead broke. It's sad, but it's because they didn't have anybody to give them direction. Because some of these guys are making like $240 million every 5 years or every year. I don't know. It's crazy the amount of money these guys make. I mean, they're risking their bodies, for the sport. So I understand, that some of these billionaires who own these teams want to pay that out. I guess you're risking your body for the sport, so you should get compensated well. All I'm saying is be smart with the money, because there's no reason, if you're making $240 million, even over the course of, let's say, a full career, that you should be running out of money when you're done playing the game. You should $1 million with a 10% return would pay you $10,000 a month. $10,000 a month. If you can't live on $10,000 a month, you're living way above your means. People get in so much debt, and they refinance their house, and they have a credit card that they use constantly, and they get behind on that. And then there's an 18% interest rate. They get burned up by the banks. They don't understand that, like I said, that there are systems to this thing. And if you're not going to take that seriously, then you can never even begin to try to become wealthy. Because if you are making it on $30,000 a year, and you go and literally double that salary in the next 5 years, and you can't live on what you were living on before, now you're just barely making it by, you are living above your means, beyond your means. You don't need to do that. There's nothing wrong with driving the little Honda Civic for the next couple years. If it's getting you by, it's getting you to work. You don't need to go out and get the new shiny thing just because you got a new job. Every time you do that, you go in debt, you're paying interest, and it's setting you further behind. The more money you're able to accumulate, the more money you're going to be able to earn. So we will dive deeper into this, to the point where I'm going to draw it up on the dry erase board, and we're going to do a mock monthly income. All this is hypothetical. Monthly income and monthly bills, and get an idea of how you can shave a few dollars here and a few dollars there, and you can start to gain control of your finances so you can build wealth. Because that's the key of this channel, is to help you build wealth, financial freedom, and to hopefully one day break free of the rat race. The entrepreneur mindset, do work for yourself. If that's your dream, if that's your goal, hard work and dedication, you can do it. But it all starts with having the freedom, that flexibility, that buffer, to have that extra money, to know I've always got that rainy day. If anything bad ever happened, heaven forbid, I've got X amount of dollars in this account. That gives you a lot of relief. Most people now are living paycheck to paycheck, and it makes it extremely difficult and hard on people to even begin thinking about building wealth. So we're going to go over some things in this channel. It's not that difficult. We'll do it together. I look forward to talking to you guys in the next video. Godspeed.